People watching Big Jim being very boring. Boring. Oh, I don't like this mode. People, welcome to another edition of that finger-tapping frenzy that we all know and love. It's WWE SuperCard with me, Big Jim, here at BadLadDad HQ. Now, I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, Big Jim, why have you got your Christmas tree up? It's November, what are you doing? To be honest, I'm thinking the same thing. But the answer is, we've got family coming tomorrow. So we've got to show Willing, get a bit in the festive spirit. It is a bit early, but it's the last time we're going to see him before Christmas. So that's why the tree's there. I don't know why I felt the need to explain this to you, but I did. So you didn't think I'd gone completely loco. It's bad enough playing the game again without going completely round the bend. Anyway, where are we up to? It's Kiwi Kota Kai. Have you got yourself Kiwi Kota Kai yet? I wasn't going to bother, to be quite honest. But as I mentioned before, this urge and desire and strong need I've got to fill out the flipping catalogue in this game means I'm always trying to pro things. I'm always trying to get the event cards, even if I get like a low ranking card when you've got these events where the higher you finish, the better card you get. And even when it's something like this, rare occasion to get a lower tier card as an event card. It's the same with the purple Damians that are knocking around at the moment. I don't have one of those at present, but I'm obviously trying to collect the tokens, trying to get there. So I've done Dakota. I better rephrase that. She wouldn't like that, would she? I have captured the card for Dakota, and that's a bit of damage control. And from there, I don't know if I want to bother with Heroic, because again, I don't need the undercards. And I'll show you for why. Firstly, this is where I stand with the Ferrell cards. As you can see, I've got some I've not even pro'd yet, and some that I've got actually powered up, but haven't had a chance to pro. There's a very good reason. It's just I just don't have enough cards to feed into them at the moment. I'm bled dry. My old cards have gone. They've been fed into these new cards. But more importantly, as you will notice in the top corner there, the lovely Liv. I've captured the lovely Liv from campaign. Now, those of you who remember how so effusive and positive I was about campaign, I absolutely love campaign. I think it's brilliant. It's brought me some great cards. It's a bit of a slog, don't get me wrong, and you do need to get your tactics right if you want to progress. And you need some patience as well. But it's well worth it. If we go out into all cards instead of just the Ferrell cards, you can see Liv there is my strongest female, even though I've got a pro Charlotte. Albeit Charlotte's not got her variants mapped out yet, so that may well take her up. I don't know, but she's got, what, 16, 15, 13, 13 stats. Look at Liv here, 13, 15, 17, 17. So that's going to be quite a big hike for Charlotte. Now, if I was doing this video yesterday evening, I didn't have a Legion Pro female. But I've got one now, all thanks to that campaign trail. 2 cards landed same time, Charlotte Pro. Equally, last video I showed you that I'd done a fusion for Roman Reigns, and sorry, not a fusion, a forge. There's a difference between a forge and a fusion, isn't there? I'd forged a Roman Reigns for myself. I've got him as a pro. I also did a single rock, and again, thanks to campaign, I pulled another single rock. So I've got 2 of the strongest pros, if not the 2 strongest pros you can get in Legion tier. So until more event cards turn up, that's pretty strong hand for King of the Ring. Or at least it would be if I remember to power up in King of the Ring. The amount of King of the Rings that I've started, or Kings of the Ring, King of the Rings, who cares? The amount of competitions I've started and I've forgotten about it and not powered up, or like got to the semi-finals and not powered up. So if you actually come across me in King of the Ring, you've got a good chance of getting past me, because I'm probably going to forget to power up. I'm a busy man, got lots of things to do, but not so busy that I can't come and say hello to you guys. So looking pretty healthy in terms of overall cards. Still worth proing the Ferrell cards, as you can see. They're still very strong and overpowering single legions. Again, though, I mean, look, for an invasion card, that's pretty impressive stats from Rhea Ripley. But she's now, in terms of the women, has dropped quite a bit down the old pecking order, as you can see. So get yourself a decent Ferrell fusion, and you're away. You've got past her. She was very good at the start, and again, it's always nice to have these new cards. Let's go and have a look in. I'll go back to the fusion chamber in a second. Play, campaign. And you can see where I've got to. I'm up to level 28. Well, this is actually the last. It's called mid-card. Obviously I play on mid-card, so clever. So clever, Cat Daddy. And this gets you to a rock special. And it will be, let's have a look actually. You can see how many people have got him so far. If you just click on him there and click on him again. So there's 13 people. 13 people in the game have got the rock so far. So I should think there's a bit of money been spent in there somewhere as well for those people to get that far. It's very unlikely to have done it otherwise unless they've been playing 24/7. My next stage will give me here a pro, basically. If I don't already have the card, could be a nice boost. And some power-ups and a support card. So it's all good stuff. And I've only paused there simply because that's as far as I got. I reckon I could go further. The tactics for this, I'm sure you all know the tactics by now. I'm sure you all know the best way of playing it. I touched on this before, where naturally you've got a deck of 6 cards. Always make sure, when you're deciding what females to power up, when you're having a look, just make sure you've got pairs of each arrow. Because when it comes to campaign, you need to have strong pairs of females for each arrow. As I mentioned, it goes without saying, really, when you think about it, but sometimes you do have to say these things for people because they don't always cotton on. Now, what you tend to find when you get into the harder rounds, you need 3 things. You need some decent cards, obviously, you're not going anywhere. Secondly, if you've got some power-ups in terms of gear, then you want to try and make sure that you've got gear that does 3 stats of the same thing. So like here we've got toughness, speed, charisma. Say the first round was toughness for the 2 males. Hopefully I've got 2 cards where they've got 3 toughness stats on. I'll show you what I mean. Let's go into equipment. Very quickly. Naturally, there's a lot of new cards now, so I've not really had a chance to change them, and I've not had much luck in trying to get 3 status. I did get, I'm pretty sure, a toughness one. See a couple of powers there. So straight away, 2,600 in power, just on that one card. That's the old Undertaker. That was a beauty. That was an absolute beauty going through the Inferno tier. This is from the freebies. If you've been doing your daily freebies, got to do your daily freebies. Got to be getting out into the online store to get your freebies, because again, you get some nice cards out of those. Well, you get the idea. You basically want to get cards of 1 stat. So that will help you then bulk up. So hopefully, when you're going through a match, hopefully you've got enough decent cards, a single or a pairing, to get you through 1 match. Then some decent equipment cards can get you through a 2nd match. And then for the 3rd game, let's just have a look and see where we're at. I don't think none of these have got equipment on. For the 3rd match, that's where you're going to use your super move. And so with a combination of those 3 things should get you through. As you can see, particularly with right arrows, I don't have any Legion pros, so it's going to be a bit tougher. So what I tend to do just from the start is just go through and see what's what. So speed wise, I'm going to get clobbered here. So it looked like they're about 5 or 6 grand down, so that's a pretty hefty makeup. Then if you've got a couple of equipment cards for 2 grand each, then it's not so bad. Now pairings can be a good thing if you can use the support cards. Again, I think we're really slightly shy here. Yeah. I'm hoping when we get to the end, it will show us the... I could stick a support card on Miz here, but I always play this first go without putting any supports on. 22, geez, that's a huge hike up. It looks like this would be the one that I'd need to use the super move on. Right, this bit irritates me immensely because it doesn't always show you the results properly. Much as it says recap, gives you that nice little icon there to tap. It doesn't always work. Alright, there we go. So look, with this one, 25-3 against 27-1. So a couple of decent speed cards on those two would get us through. So that's not a problem. Next up, look at that. Very close. So again, I could stick toughness just on one of those females and that would get us through. So now that's good because that makes me think that I can save using the support card for the third round. Now, as I suspected, he's quite a way off there. He's nearly £7 isn't he? So even if I use a support card that I got £2.5–3 and even if he'd got equipment of another £2, it's still going to be a couple of grand short. Then what I'd suggest doing is just having a look at what overall card it's giving you for manager support on here. If you didn't need toughness, I would try and boost up the charisma card down here as well, if I had a decent one. No, it's in my single support card for charisma is only 1800, so it wouldn't be enough. So I'd use the super move. So now I know what I've got to do. I've got to go back in, some equipment cards on the first two rounds, and then use super move on the third. And there you go. I'll be moving on to the next one. So that's what I do there. What else was going to show you? There's boost. I know that. Oh no, not boost. Boom boost. Big boomy boost. Let's have a cup. I've got a cup of tea, not a beer this evening. A bit tired. Been working hard. And so glad that proper football's back this weekend. Not this international rubbish. Proper club football's back. And for American viewers, not sure what I mean by football. I mean football, the one where you kick the ball. Boom. Again, I was going to do a video on this. What am I doing that for? I just wanted to play. I was going to do a video on this, but I've seen enough videos already have gone out there. People are very quick. So, these are the tactics. This is what you do. So, it didn't seem to warrant me doing something separate. But I'm pretty much going to mirror what people have been saying. I do tend to try and go up through the middle. It's all about getting spaces. It's not about worrying so much about the power of your cards. It is all about trying to get spaces and pinning your opponent back and stopping them from moving, basically. Although I have heard people saying it doesn't matter what you've got on your cards, and actually to an extent it does, which I'll come to in a second. Just seeing where it's taking me here. Right, okay, that's perfect. Hey, come on, do your thing. And there you go. It's absolutely stifled him and wiped him off the board. When it actually comes to your deck, you just have to accept the surrender there. When it comes to actually your deck, I'm sure a lot of people, you just go in and you just accept what the game gives you. But you can actually go in and do an edit. I'm not going to bother picking these for the time being. Yes, we know, win streak of 1. Yes, amazing to get past the first round. As you can see, what I tended to do when I started was any of the cards that had minus on, minus for hitting your enemy's score, I was using in any of these boxes that had squares at the top, because you tend to be attacking people above you rather than people below you. But if you do have a game, particularly in the later stages, where they do start snaking around you and come around the blind side or what have you, it is useful to have some minus cards hitting down below as well. The plus cards don't necessarily give you very strong stats in terms of when you've got the actual card sitting in the box itself. I don't know if I explained that very well. Like here you've got LA Knight, who's got a decent stat of about 70, but a lot of these cards,
that give you plus stats are actually quite low. So you can very easily see, like Pete Dunne here has got power 110, but it gives you only plus 27 for your players. It's not much use. That's quite a nice one. Jacobus Fortuus, 106 power, minus 106 to the enemy, so he's quite good. I might actually need to start dressing some of these guys in because I haven't looked at it for a while. So there you go, look, he could replace AJ. Excuse me, just building and fiddling and changing things around while you're sitting there waiting for me to do something a bit more exciting. Where are we going? Where are we going? So I'm wary of this card, the Bron Breaker, where it's minus 318 for all. That literally is for all. So you put him on a card and he actually lines up with one of your cards, you're going to wipe yourself out as well as wipe out the opponent. See, again, look, I've got Bron there. He came from Campaign Trail 2. I could pro him now, but I can't power him up. I've got nothing to put into him. So he's just sitting there waiting for me to do him at the moment. And of course, I need to play games in him too. So there's that aspect. An awful lot of gameplay needs to go on to power these cards up too. Now, what have I've lost him? Where's he gone? Jacobus. Where is he? I passed him. Have I passed him? Yeah, I did pass him. Here we go. Too busy waffling. So there, I've got a better card in there now, so that was useful. So you get the gist of that. I'm sure you'll be close to doing your best there. I'll be interested to hear, though, how far you have got. How many of you have actually got all the way through to 11? And have you had any decent rewards out of it? Because some of the rewards have been a bit flaky as well. Did I actually put myself? It looks like I put myself in a King of the Ring again. See, like, I don't even know what I'm doing half the time. I just like keep chain entering. I mean, it's ridiculous to do that because right now it's 9:30 in the evening UK time, and that's in the first round. So I'm not going to be awake at 3 in the morning to do the later rounds. That was a bit of a waste of time, I guess. Fusion Chamber, Long John Silver and the Pirates, and the Fusion Chamber. They've been busy. They've been busy down there in the Fusion Chamber. I pointed out to you guys. You could save your tokens in these bigger section, if you like, because you can use a red token to get yourself fairly decent cards. Let's see what we've got here. What I'm doing right now, okay, fair enough. What I'm doing right now is just trying to use these up for the good, for the greater good. As you can see, you can get anything up to a Ferrell card. With these. I haven't actually pulled a Ferrell yet. I did get a couple of inks, but again, I'm filling out the catalogue. And here, you go all the way to the end and you find that the fusions of the latest tiers are actually available here. A lot cheaper than a bit further that way. So we'll just stick another ink in there. I've already got Seth. I haven't got Rikishi. Well, you can see which ones I have and haven't got. I've actually got Tatum as a single and Caden as a pro, so that's been quite good, filling out that. And I got to the point where I'd got so many tokens up at this part, I thought, well, I might as well do it. I thought, just get in there, get yourself busy. So, what should I do now? Should I do a bit of, what should I do a bit of? Let's do a bit of PvP, let's do some war games. This bit is boring, I wish I hadn't started this bit. It is boring, very boring. People watching Big Jim being very boring. Oh, I don't like this mode. I really do find this mind-numbing. I mean, let's be honest. A lot of the finger tapping frenzy isn't exactly the most entertaining in the world when you're grinding through the game. But this is particularly demanding of your attention. So some of them you can be finger tapping away and you're watching the telly, aren't you? Watch a bit of sport, watch a nice film. And you can enjoy yourself. With this thing, it's not so easy. So it just becomes a bit of a chore. A big chore. Right, final round. Let's get this done. Let's get it done. Then be on the run and have some fun. Come on, I'm just tapping indiscriminately here just because I'm being impatient, not because I think it's doing anything worthwhile. Right, so what's next? Well, I suppose what's next is I'll carry on with women's war games and get the heroic part sorted. Then it's Ring Dommy Dim Dom, isn't it? Is it Ring Dommy Dim Dom next? Which again, just not feeling some of the events. Just not feeling some of the events at the moment. I guess what's happened is I've come back trying obviously to play. I played through season 10, having had a bit of a gap for a season, and then went a bit mad. Was playing non-stop, but then I got to the point where I realised why I'd stopped in the first place. Was like it starts killing your weekends, and I've actually work-wise I've gone through a fairly quiet spell to being massively busy again, so it really does become a bit of a problem. Oh, as you can see, actually I didn't get the single rock from campaign. I got the single rock from here, which was a surprise because I normally get quite a lot of dregs, quite a lot of crap comes out of this for me generally, particularly when it's a top tier card. Okay, have I got her? Most of them, again, not too sure what stage you're at. So some of you may still be avidly collecting invasions, but I've got to the point now where let's go into the card catalogue. Catalogue. Here we go. If we go into the Will Ferrell tier, I like the Will Ferrell tier. Just go on to Forge. You can see I've got just about, what's that, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, about 9 gaps at the moment. 10, 11, 12. Fairly well represented anyway with Ferrell cards. Go back down to Invasion. You can see there's quite a few pros there already. These aren't pros that I've powered up, by the way. These are the cards, if you remember, I sat on these tiers and didn't power anything up until I could work out just what I thought I was going to get in terms of higher tier cards, and the fact that it wouldn't be worth powering up these smaller cards, smaller tiers, lower tiers, call them what you like. So yeah, if we go down even further to Ink, as you can see, there's not too many pros that I'm missing out on. And similar with Metal, look at that, same number of cards, 112 in both. So those will be filled out pretty soon, I should imagine. Do you know what? I have a feeling that was more for my benefit than it was for your benefit. You don't really care about my catalogue, do you? You just say, Big Jim, not interested in that at all. Stop boring the pants off us. So it was a good benefit to me because I could see what stage I've got to. Right, I think I've waffled on enough, haven't I? Let's just get back to my cards so we can see what we can see in terms of my strongest. There you go. So you can have a little look at that just while I finish off. Yeah, so let me know where you're at. What tier have you got to? Have you hit Legion? Are you enjoying it? Are you enjoying all these new cards? Have you enjoyed the freshness of there just being new cards? I'm still looking at the... Sorry, I just dropped the F-bomb there. I thought, oh, I better edit that out. I still, when I see the Inferno logo on the back of a card, I still go, oh, it's an Inferno. Because it's not that long ago that it was good to pull an Inferno card. And then all of a sudden you go, oh, actually, that's just a pile of poo. It's not going to do anything, is it? So there we go. There we have it. Let me know how you're getting on down below. I shall carry on making occasional videos like this if you're still interested in seeing them. Can't always promise to have a Christmas tree in the background. It's not always going to be festive. But I shall always try and have a smile on my face. Because it's not nice when you feel a bit down and everything, if you're just like being a bit grumpy and you bring that to everyone else. So always try and be a bit cheerful, even though sometimes life's not always that great. But generally, it's as great as you can make it. So there we go. I'm waffling again, aren't I? I really don't know what I'm going on about half the time. There we go, people. Thanks ever so much for watching. Until I see you next time, you stay cool.
People say to me all the time, hey, Johnny Wrestling, what does it take to become a winner? To those people, I say, Try watching BadLadDad's latest video. He'll show you just what it takes to become a WWE SuperCard champion.